FragPunk Season 2 Chapter 2 launches in just under a week, and it's got some pretty amazing cards coming. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and if you take a look, we are currently on the FragPunk website, and we're in the news shard cards section, and there's a ton of new cards coming, including some of the community made ones from the event that we had last season. And I'm here to just kind of give you a quick rundown of what's here, stuff that you may have missed, and just my overall reaction on what these cards are going to be like in a game. So from left to right, the first card we have here is Heads and Toes, and this was by far and away the fan favorite from the community card event. And basically it's just going to shift all headshot damage to your feet. In theory, this sounds like a fun card, but in practice, it's probably not going to play out as many people would think. In fact, I actually think the players who are just more focused on body shots are going to end up winning gunfights with this card active. And all of these sweats are going to try to find weird angles where you get one-way angles on people's feet. And you're going to have head glitches now that aren't really head glitches anymore because, well, they're going to be way beyond that, because at least before you had a chance at hitting their head and dealing headshot damage, whereas now you have zero chance. I immediately think of the head glitch on Black Market. Either way, moving on to the next card here is Speedrun, and basically the first team to reach the finish area near both spawn sites wins the round. If you can somehow match this card up with Mass Cheetah or Acceleration, you're easily going to win that round. Plus, if you have a Corona, you're going to have a tiny advantage from the get-go. But the way I see this card playing out is more like Red Rover, because, I mean, you got to leave somebody to try to defend it. You can't just all make a break for it. You got to leave at least, I would say, 3 people behind just to defend the site so that it's not just a free speed run to the other side. I will say Zephyr is going to come in clutch on these because, sure, they're going to be getting the notification when you get nearby. They're probably going to be able to hear you running while you're invisible, but at least you'll have a better shot, so long as Chomper's not around, that you can make it into that zone and win the round. The next card here is Gun Tune-Up, and firearm damage increases for every complete inspection or for every inspection that lasts a certain period of time. So they had to word this card very specifically so that it wasn't a pay-to-win card, because you don't want weapons with longer inspection animations to give you more of a boost on anything. So this is the way the card is. So that weapons with basic skins have the shorter animation, you could just complete them over and over again and get the same amount of boost that somebody with a longer animation would have. Sounds like it'll be a pretty fun card to use. And then the next one here we have is Pop Quiz, where your killer must take a 5-second math quiz. If they answer incorrectly, they die. This is going to be very interesting to see how this is implemented in game. Is it going to be multiple choice? Are you going to have to type the answer in? Is it going to be easier for mouse and keyboard players to navigate this than it would be for a controller player? Lots of stuff to think about here with this card. Can't wait to test it out. But moving on to the next set of 4 cards here, we have Mourning Period, and you temporarily silence your killer. Now, I'm not really sure what that means. You can see this page has a lot of silent stuff. This Mourning Period card just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you want to silence your killer? That just doesn't make any sense unless it silences like their pings or something like that. The next card here is called Silent Gunslinger, and you can silence yourself, which also buffs your movement speed and damage. Now, does this mean it silences your weapon, your footsteps? Who knows? Gotta get in the game and test it. The next card here is Silent Bullet, and the first bullet of each mag temporarily silences the enemy. Again, what the hell does this mean? Why would you want to silence your enemy? It's just all very confusing, and all 3 of these cards are going to require some extensive testing. Next up, we have Fortification Builder, where every gadget placed increases weapon damage by 2%, and we can see Nitro's Wall and Spider's Trap being placed here. So this card is going to be very disadvantageous to Lancers like Zephyr, Corona, Kismet, Lancers that don't have actual traps that you set down. Combining this card with something like Skill Replenish, though, is definitely going to make for an interesting round. On the next set of cards, we have Sustainable Resource, which your utility guns slowly recover their projectiles. So it's kind of like Plenty of Ammo, but it's only specifically for your util weapons, your blasters, your burners, your smokes, stuff like that. The next card here is a Time to Heal, and enemy healing temporarily reduces their bullet damage. This is going to be big for players who play Aura and just sit inside of people. So now after you get healed by aura, now your bullets are going to do a little bit less, which I think is fair. Honestly, that kind of sounds like a better nerf to aura than it does a card. The next card here is magnetic bullets, and a bullet upon hitting an enemy pulls the enemy a short distance towards you. I can see this being very disorienting, possibly a small counter to snipers maybe. And then the last card on this page is flare, and blinding an enemy temporarily exposes them. I'm assuming this just marks them on the minimap and marks them in game. Using this card with Corona is going to make for some crazy pushes into sight. Moving on to the next page here, we have converter shields, where carrying a converter provides continuous extra health to nearby allies. Now this is similar to a card that we already have, except this one is giving you extra shield. Is it going to give you 25 or 50? Not really sure. The next card on this page is Ghost Pepper Mania, and for whatever reason, these devs just love the Ghost Pepper, and this card makes the Ghost Pepper the only primary weapon available to all players for the round, which honestly might be a nice break from being sniped all the time. The next card here is called Flesh Wound, and the first headshot taken deals only 1 damage. And if we just look at the card art here, I think we all know what this is in reference to. I mean, this game just does not care at all. They give no fucks when it comes to adding memes and stuff to this game. Nobody is safe, and I'm okay with it. This is funny. This is hilarious, but not getting too political here. We'll move on to the next card here, and this one is just straight out of Madagascar. It's called Penguin. You just turn into a penguin. Very fitting with the new toy theme coming for Season 2, Chapter 2, I guess. Now, what happens when you turn into a penguin? I don't know. I'll have to wait and find out. Next up is Super Hearing, and at least this is a card in game and not a $10 or $20 package that you can buy so you get better audio. You know who I'm talking about. But this card is going to make enemy footsteps make noise even while they're walking and see the direction of their footsteps. So now players without headsets have no excuse. I might even go so far as to say this could be testing out directional audio cues on screen for a mobile version of the game. But moving on to the next card, as we don't want to speculate too much, extra projectiles, and here it's going to allow your utility gun to fire 2 extra projectiles, which means you're going to be able to fire 3 total. Now, if I just had the description of the card to go on, I would think that my blaster can now fire 4 instead of 2, but it sounds like it's going to fire 2 extra per shot. So now instead of just firing 1, it's going to fire 3 as depicted by the card art here. The next card here is called Smoke Shield, and I swear we had this card in game before and it was removed, and it's just going to increase your max HP by staying in smoke. Someone let me know down in the comments if I'm crazy and I just dreamed this card was in the game in Season 1, but I'm pretty sure it was here. The next card here is Lingering Smoke, and smoke duration is increased by 100%. Again, I swear we already have a card like this in the game where it increases the duration of 50%, or maybe I'm thinking of the card that increases the size of the smoke. And you can see we have now circled back to the very first page with heads and toes. So that is going to do it for all the new shard cards coming in Season 2, Chapter 2, Week 1. There should be more cards coming in Week 3 of Chapter 2, as they've now decided instead of blasting us with 100 new cards all at once, they're going to split it up into chunks. So we should get new cards Week 1, Week 3, Week 5, Week 7, etc. Every other week we'll get new cards, so long as they maintain the same schedule release on cards that they did with this current chapter. Now, I haven't actually tested any of these cards in game, but huge shout out to FragPunk, as I have been able to get my hands onto early access of the new chapter, and I gotta say, it looks amazing. There is something for everyone, and I do mean everyone. Valorant players, you might want to come back. COD casual players, you might want to check this game out. And our, of course, die-hard FragPunk players, stick around. As mentioned earlier, Season 2, Chapter 2 is going to drop really soon. It's coming out August 21st, and I'll have a ton of videos starting August 18th, August 19th, August 20th, going over all the new stuff. The new maps, new modes, the new Lancer, new Battle Pass, everything coming in new videos coming up this week into next week. So if you aren't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Let me know down in the comments what you're most excited for in Season 2, Chapter 2, and I'll see you guys in the next one.